The new trailer for Fox's New Mutants movie just dropped, and they seem to be adapting the Demon Bear storyline from the comic issues 18 through 20 of the New Mutants comic. So I figured now was the time to take a look and review that story. Before that, I need to briefly discuss who the New Mutants are and how they came about. In past interviews, former X-Men writer Chris Claremont realized that the X-Men were no longer young students. The originals had grown up and moved on with their lives, and the new batch were all adults, or at least legal. So he created a new group all consisting of teenage mutants still unable to properly control their powers. They all appeared as a team in Marvel Graphic Novel Volume 1, Number 4. The first iteration of the team and comic ran for 100 issues before becoming the first version of X-Force, but that's a story for another day. The initial team consisted of Samuel Guthrie, a boy from Kentucky who has the power to fly via a blasting field, which also makes him invulnerable. Shan Koi Man, a young woman from Vietnam who is able to possess people's bodies mentally. Danielle Moonstar, a Native American girl who can create empathic illusions. Roberto da Costa, a boy from Brazil who can store solar power inside himself and gains superhuman strength, sort of like Superman. Rain Sinclair, a Scottish girl that can turn into a werewolf form. As time went on, more characters joined in. Here are a few of the more permanent ones. Douglas Ramsey, a computer expert and master linguist. He can understand any human, technological, or alien language. Illyana Rasputin, sister of Peter Rasputin, Colossus of the X-Men. She has a very convoluted backstory. She's the team's resident teleporter and a mystic as well. Amara Juliana Olivians Aquila, a girl with a very complicated backstory. The Roman Empire and Amazons are part of it, and she can control lava. Warlock, an alien from a techno-organic alien race. Now, on with the story. At the conclusion of the previous storyline, where the New Mutants fight their opposite number, the Helens, Danny, out of nowhere, sees several images of a demonic bear. The bear says it'll soon kill her just as it killed her parents. Issue 18 begins with the school being attacked by some unknown force and Professor Xavier getting killed. This turns out to be a nightmare Rachel Summers is having. Oh, Rachel is Scott Summers and Jean Grey's grown-up daughter from a dystopian future who time traveled to the past to stop an assassination that would lead to the Days of Future Past timeline. Oh yeah, she's also a feature of Franklin Richards' future lover, because comic books. Anyway, after she finds out that the professor isn't there, she just runs away. Next, we get to see the kids training in the danger room. Also, we get the introduction of a future fan favorite character. We also learn a bit of Danny's relationship backstory with the demon bear. She decides to face her fears and battles the bear. It doesn't end well. Issue 19 begins with Danny in surgery. With the entire group holed up in the hospital, they compare notes and realize the bear's gonna come back and they're gonna have to make their last stand in order to protect Danny, themselves, and all the people at the hospital. There's another quick aside in space with a cameo of characters that will play pivotal roles in both the X-Men and Avengers team. Right after this, a cop accidentally almost shoots one of the kids and then proceeds to start macking on one of the nurses. Question: is one of the Orleans just Alfred Hitchcock doing a walk-on roughly 4 years after he died? It's at this point where this story becomes more of a horror story. The bear starts striking out at everyone mentally and physically. During the fight, something odd is going on with Rain and Illyana. The issue ends with the demon bear taking the kids to its own realm, the Badlands. Issue 20 begins in the Badlands when the bear transforms a couple of his prisoners' bodies and souls. It's a pretty exciting fight. The fight climaxes with a surprise appearance and twist, and the realization that even if you win the battle, there still can be lifelong scars. I enjoyed this story, but I did have a few problems with it. First, the prose. No decompressed storytelling. There wasn't any stretching of the story so it could fit in a trade paperback. Then again, that wasn't really a big thing back then like it is now. The story was well paced and the main cast personalities came off really well. This was writer Chris Claremont still writing at his peak. Visually, Bill Sienkiewicz matched his art to the story. It's tough to describe his art style, but the best way would be there's an emotional, painterly, dreamlike quality to it. He did the pencils and inks, but colorist Glynis Wing did the coloring, and together there's a very chaotic and fevered feeling that I got from the artwork that just worked considering the story that was being told. As for negatives, the occasional cameos out of context don't make sense, but they did set for later storylines, so I let that go. The coloring of the Native Americans was comparable. Also, the term Red Ends in the comic. My biggest problem, however, would be with Danielle Moonstar. The Demon Bear Saga seemed it was going to be about Danny overcoming her fear and what the bear represents and the guilt over her parents' death. Over the course of the story, she would get closer with the rest of the team and they would be able to conquer the beast and she would be able to overcome all of her problems. That kind of happens, but not really. After issue 18, she doesn't really come back until the very end of issue 20. Chris Claremont missed a huge opportunity to give her more depth here. Over the years, her character has evolved, but more of that groundwork could have happened decades sooner. Other than that, I don't have any problems with the story. It was a story that focused on another culture's folklore. On a side note, I wonder if anyone will tackle Detroit's folklore like the name Rouge. Probably not. I do wonder just how much the New Mutants film will adapt this story. It'll probably be more like Captain America the Winter Soldier or Civil War and X-Men Days of Future Past, which adapted only vague aspects of the source material. It looks like what it will keep will be that the story will take place in the hospital, a mental institution in this case. The kids will be there, and maybe a paranormal spirit that once or twice looks like a bear. Well, if you found this review interesting and want to read more about the New Mutants, then check out the trade paperbacks of their stories available at comic book and bookstores. Also, you can order them online at sites like Amazon. If you don't want to read a physical copy but are still interested, then you can buy e-copies of the issues and trades at comiXology.com. That way you can read it on any platform: tablet, laptop, cell phone, tabletop computer. Oh, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, comment below, click like, and share the video. Also, I'm currently on a quest for 1,000 subscribers by next year. So until next time, have a good day.